Today on Make an Impact, I'm joined by Marot Williamson, an attorney in Annapolis who's here to share her personal journey of recovery. By sharing her story, we hope to help break the stigma surrounding addiction and remind you that asking for help is a sign of strength.
Hi, my name is Marot. I'm a lawyer in Annapolis, and I'm also an alcoholic in recovery. And that second part, I thought I would never be able to say, because when I first got into recovery, I was embarrassed, I was ashamed, I didn't want anyone to know. And the last thing I ever thought I would be doing would be making a recorded statement that I knew would go out on the internet, letting the whole world know that I'm an alcoholic. However, the important thing is that I'm an alcoholic in recovery, and that is something I'm very proud of, and I like sharing, and I want others to know that because I want others to know that recovery is available and you don't have to live in alcoholism. So for me, my recovery story actually starts my first day of law school when I was 22, but I did not know that I would need it. So lawyers are more likely than other professionals to have problems with alcohol. We're actually about twice as likely. And the Lawyers Helping Lawyers program near my law school up in Villanova came and they talked to us and they said, look to your left, look to your right, one of you will be an alcoholic. I remember thinking, that's not going to be me. I never had a problem. You know, I got through college just fine. I was on the swim team. I was an athlete. You know, I wasn't out, tearing it up all the time. I had to be responsible, for swim practice and meets. I got through law school just fine without problems. I got through my 20s just fine without problems. However, in my early 30s, that's when things really started to hit, and that's when things got bad. I went from what one would consider probably a normal drinker to problematic drinker, hiding what I was drinking, started spending a lot of time figuring out how I was gonna get alcohol that day, when would I use it, how would I use it in a way people didn't know I was using it, and then trying to recover from it. And that took up a lot of time and energy, and that was exhausting, and my life had become unmanageable. The people who were close to me noticed that it was a problem. Thankfully, it didn't affect my job in a way that was extremely noticeable. I'm very fortunate. I remained employed the entire time. I was able to maintain my life and my employment in that way. However, it was really affecting me negatively. And of course, my family noticed. And so they started to take action to help me get better. And I could say in my head, I could scream it in my mind that I was an alcoholic, but I couldn't say it out loud. And I was terrified of admitting it because I didn't want people to know. I was embarrassed, I was ashamed. I did the thing that makes sense to alcoholics, where we'd rather live in this vicious cycle than just say that we need help and let people know that we need help. The people close to us know we need help, and so we might as well just get help. But that didn't make sense to me at the time. Of course, it makes sense to me now. So I remember the first time I ever went to a recovery meeting. It was here in Annapolis. It was midday. And I'm looking around and I'm terrified, and everyone is having such a good time. And they're just laughing and they're smiling before the meeting starts, and they're drinking their coffee and their Gatorade, and they're all so happy. And I didn't know what was wrong with these people, honestly. And the meeting starts and a speaker starts, and he was celebrating 30 years in a couple days. And he was funny and he's telling you stories and everyone's laughing. And they're like, oh, he's coming up on 30 years in a couple days. Hope he makes it. Everyone's laughing. And I'm like, I didn't think this was funny. Because I'm like, what? Like I hope he makes it. Like a couple days. I couldn't imagine staying stopped that long. I tried to stay stopped. I couldn't put together more than a couple days at that point. So to me, it was a Herculean feat for someone to get to almost 30 years. And I was actually like, how do you do that? Because I can't do it. That meeting did not stop things for me. One thing that did happen at that meeting was across the room, I saw a lawyer who I know, who I recognized, and I was so embarrassed. And that was my biggest fear, of people knowing. Annapolis is such a small town. Everywhere you go, you see someone you know. And I look across the room and there's this lawyer, and he was very polite and he pretended not to see me, and I scooted out of there and he didn't say anything to me, he didn't talk to me. We're actually friends now. We talk about, recovery, and we talk about the law, and it's a wonderful friendship now. I'm fortunate that it's one of the many gifts of being in recovery is the wonderful relationships I've been able to gain, particularly in the legal community, because there's plenty of us. So I go to that meeting. It doesn't fix things. I try some other meetings. I try some other methods that don't work, like leaving my credit cards at home, so I can't buy anything, or things that don't stop people from drinking if you really want to drink. I tried drinking like sugary drinks at night as a substitute. Did not do the trick. So my family is noticing what's going on. So they do what I call the soft intervention. So they come over to my house and they're presenting me with some options. They're like, oh, Karen Treatment Centers has this, and Ashley has this, and you can't have your own room here, but you can there, or this place has this amenity, or things like that. And it was like picking a college, kind of. And, I was like, oh, I wasn't ready. I can't go to rehab. I can't imagine going to rehab. I don't know how I take, a month out of my life. I don't know how I take a month away from my family. I don't know how I take a month away from work. I'm a trial attorney. There's things on the calendar. If I'm not there, who's going to do it? I thought I had so many of these other important things I could not walk away from to fix the most important thing in my life at that time, which was my health and my future. But I didn't see it like that at that point. And I said, it's okay. No, I'll just go to some meetings. And, that'll help, 2 or 3 meetings, a week, and that'll fix things. And my brother was very, questioning of this. And he's like, I don't think a couple meetings is going to fix this. And he was right. And so I kind of stumbled along for a little while, and that compromise that, I came to with my family didn't work out. And then they came with the actual real intervention. They hired an interventionist. My family read the books. They got letters from my friends. They swooped in, and I was informed that I was going to Ashley, formerly Father Martin's Ashley, up in Havre de Grace, here in Maryland. My mom had packed my bags. People close to me had let people know I wouldn't be certain places. I had to tell my work I wasn't going to be there, and miraculously the world didn't fall apart and didn't come to complete stop just because I was gone for 30 days or 28 days. Life goes on. It is okay to take some time for yourself to fix what is wrong. But I wasn't completely convinced. I still thought that I, for some reason, couldn't go to rehab, and my mom is actually the person who tipped the scale at the end and said, you have to make this investment in yourself for your children. You have to do this. And then I realized she was right. So I went to rehab. I showed up. I was a complete mess. I was crying. I was just crying. I couldn't believe I was there. I didn't understand how I was there. I had always done the next thing. I went right to college, law school, job, always doing the thing I thought I had to do. And I'm at rehab, and it was the end of February, and it's cold and it's raining, and I'm like, this is just such a cliche, and I'm walking around crying. And my counselor said to me, it doesn't matter how you got here. She's like, you're here. So you have to you got to work on it. You got to figure it out. And so thankfully I settled in very quickly. I really enjoyed it. Everyone there, it was just judgment free. I didn't feel like I had to have walls up. I felt like I could just be honest and say what was going on. And a lot of people who worked there were actually in recovery. So it was very easy to relate to people. They had a wonderful trainer there. I had literally my first day at Ashley. I had just had a baby 6 months before. I had not been taking care of myself. I was not in good shape. I was still wearing maternity dresses 6 months postpartum. I couldn't even wear suits to court. I had to wear these maternity dresses. So I went to the trainer there, and he was really nice. And I was kind of dancing around the topic because I was kind of embarrassed. And he's like, you want to lose the baby weight? And I was like, yes. He's like, great. And he gave me a circuit to do. And I would go to the gym every day and do the circuit. And it was so fun because it'd be women only gym time, and they'd put music on and be working out. And I went to women's college. And so it just reminded me of being on the swim team with my friends, working out. And it was just wonderful. And that's where I really started to feel like myself again. I laughed, felt comfortable, started feeling better, started looking better. But I was really concerned about what I would tell people when I went back to work. Rehab is a bit of a bubble, and at some point you have to go back in the real world and face the wreckage of your past. And I didn't quite know how to handle that, how to explain where I was. Because I'd had a baby so recently, some people kind of thought it was just related to postpartum issues. Some people knew where I was. I let the people close to me at work know where I was because they had to cover for me. But it was still an issue. I didn't know what to tell people. And we would have little seminars at rehab, what to tell work. But I mean, I hadn't actually done it, so I didn't know what to expect. So when I got out of rehab, I started calling attorneys who I knew were in recovery and just reaching out to them and talking to them about their experience. And then I kind of widened the circle from there. And then I decided I might as well just tell people, because living in addiction is very isolating and dark and shameful and embarrassing. And being in recovery is the complete opposite. And I was proud to be in recovery, and I wanted to share that I was in recovery because that's great. And if someone looks down on you because you worked on yourself, like, that's their problem. And I just didn't care what people thought because I was getting better. And my friends were happy for me that I had got better. So then I started becoming more open. In the beginning, I went to a ton of meetings, and everyone there was so wonderful and so welcoming and patient and kind. And meetings went from a scary thing that I was terrified to go to someplace I wanted to go to because I would see friends and people who I like to see there. I stayed involved with Ashley. They have a Zoom group and alumni meeting group, and it's just nice to be in touch with people from all over the country, all different days, who went there. Because the thing about rehab is if you're only there for like 30 days, you would only know the people who were there at the time that you were there. But this was wonderful because it just widened the circle of people from that particular rehab, because people who went all different times are on these meetings, and it's just such a beautiful connection. And that's really what I enjoy the most about being in recovery, is the connection. Something that I picked up at rehab, which I'd never done before, was yoga. And so we would do some yoga, and it was great, and I liked it. And so when I got out of rehab, I found a local yoga place that has hot yoga. And I remember being there at first, like, this is a lot harder than rehab yoga. Like, it's like a lot different. They take it easy on you at rehab. But I found that particularly in early recovery, I was like very beaten down, like mentally and physically, just everything I'd put my body through, and just emotionally everything I was going through at the time. And as I was getting stronger in yoga, I also found myself getting stronger mentally, physically, spiritually, and so it really went together nicely. The thing I also like about yoga is I see people from recovery also, so it's another nice cross-section of recovery there. And I really find that for me personally, when I feel good, I feel good. So for instance, this morning I got up and went to a 6 o'clock yoga class. And so the rest of the day I feel great. That is something I would never do when I was drinking. There would be absolutely no way I could get up early and go to yoga and continue on my day, because I wouldn't be in any sort of, mental, physical capacity to be able to do that. And that's just so wonderful. I love being in recovery because it has given me so much time in my day. There are just hours available now to, spend with my family, to get work, and particularly to be able to give back. And that's something that I've been able to do recently. So I just finished being the president of the board at the Chrysalis House, which is located in Crownsville, Maryland, which is for women who have addictions either to drugs or alcohol, who are on Medicaid, but they're also able to bring their children to live with them. And so I was really happy to be able to be a part of that board and help give back from my own experience in terms of things that I found helpful to me in recovery, to help these women go forward with their recovery. Because it's very important, not only for their recovery, but also just to set them on a good path for the lives of their children. And that's really what recovery is, because it doesn't just affect the person, it affects everyone around them, to help someone become a better, sister, daughter, parent, friend, employee, whatever. And then it really ripples out from there. And this is the first time I ever said this anywhere. I'm going to be on the board of the Ashley board, starting as about a week ago.
Congratulations.
Thanks. So I'm really proud to be on the board of the place where I went to help give back there. Because I'll tell you, the first day that I arrived at Ashley, I never thought I would end up on the board of actually based on the state, because my mental state when I arrived there, I was very much like Dorothy dropped out of the tornado when I showed up there. But thankfully, I was able to move on from there. And
the first time I went to Right Turn, I didn't think I'd be working for Right Turn either.
I'll bet. Yeah, I don't think anybody actually shows up at rehab and thinks it's going to be a long-term commitment in terms of a job or volunteering. I was just trying to piece the pieces of my life together when I first showed up. I really couldn't think 30 days a year or 8 years down the road when I showed up to rehab. And I never thought I would say I was a grateful alcoholic, because I was like, who could be grateful for this mess that I made? How could I be grateful? But I am so grateful now, because it has given me a whole new perspective. It's given me a whole new outlook. And I just love being sober. I just love knowing that at any hour, day or night, if someone needs me, I'm there for them.
That you show up.
Yes.
That's right.
And particularly as a mother, you have to always be ready. I'm just really happy that I never have to drink again. And I enjoy getting up at 5:15, drinking coffee and going to yoga. That's my new happy place, not, trolling liquor stores so they don't think I'm an alcoholic.
Right.
Going to different liquor stores.
That's absolutely right. No more happy hour, but you're happy without it.
Correct. Correct. And
me too.
Yes. And that's a good point in terms of going to social events, because I know some people when they first get out of rehab or even going forward in recovery, don't really want to be around alcohol. They might be concerned that people will look at them funny or try to offer them drinks. And I have found it to be fine personally, that people are very respectful when I say I don't drink, and they just leave it. And then my friends know I don't drink. And because I am so open about the fact that I don't drink, that people don't even offer it. So that makes it really easy. To be open, it's not even a problem.
When you think about the ripple effect of recovery, what impact do you hope your story has on someone who's watching today?
Sure. So I hope if someone's watching who's on the fence and wants to get help, like knows in their heart that they need help, but you're not sure how to get help, hope that you do find help. Because it's so much better and it's so much easier to live in recovery than living in active addiction. Because active addiction is like a whole other job. It takes a lot of time. It takes a lot of energy for something that's just pulling you down and making you miserable. And the other side is so much better. Staying stopped is a lot easier than stopping in the first place. It's hardest in the beginning. And that there's so many options. There's so many wonderful rehabs in the area. There's so many recovery meetings in the area. There's so many people willing to put out their hand to help that it's if you want it, it's there. I can't believe I lived like that. I cannot believe I lived like that. And thankfully, it wasn't a very long period of time where it was really bad. Thankfully, my family swooped in and grabbed me.
Yeah.
But I mean, it was bad.
Ugly.
Yeah. I really want to hammer home that you don't have to live like this. Like if you're watching this and you're thinking maybe recovery is for me, like you really don't have to live like this. And the shame and the embarrassment of being scared to get help, like honestly, no one cares. Like in a meeting, people are just happy that you're there. Your family, they're just going to be happy that you got help. Your coworkers, they're going to be really happy that you got help so they don't have to cover for you anymore. It's like everybody just wants you to get help. And if the only thing that's holding you back is you're scared about going, living in addiction is way worse.